The glory days of the Ku Klux Klan Democrats seem to be slipping away from them. But first, check out my friends over at CMMG. These guys at CMMG.com are making some of the coolest firearms out there. They actually have what's called the Descent that they put out. That is an amazing firearm. You can get it in several different lengths, but this thing is absolutely cool. There's going to be a very cool finish that's going to be available called patina, actually putina, and it's going to be for a limited run in June leading up to July 4th. Check them out, cmmg.com. If you want to buy any of their parts or accessories, use my discount code, FTATF, and get 10% off. North Carolina House lawmakers voted to override Democrat Governor Roy Cooper's veto of a pistol permitting bill. It's the first time Republican lawmakers have accomplished that since 2018, and it took some help from Democrats in the House. For over a century, North Carolina has had a pistol purchase permit requirement. This is essentially $5 that you give for permission to purchase a handgun. The original pistol purchase permit law was passed in 1919, and it's a classic piece of Jim Crow era legislation that has remained in place all these years. You see, the recognition of civil rights for blacks and other minorities meant that the Constitution was now going to apply to all minorities. This meant that blacks and other minorities could exercise their natural right to self-defense, which meant full access to and exercising of the Second Amendment per the U.S. Constitution. The Klan was right down the road in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where their headquarters was, and they weren't too happy about the old black folk. So the racist members of the North Carolina legislature knew that they could not prevent minorities from purchasing handguns for protection, so they passed in North Carolina the pistol purchase permit law. The law was essentially meant to give local sheriffs the power to give permission to people who wanted to buy or purchase or receive a pistol. Because remember, whether it's a gift or whether you were purchasing a private sale, not just from FFLs, you still had to do this. Let's say you and I were going to be doing a private transfer. Well, if you were giving the gun to me, then I had to purchase a pistol purchase permit and give it to you, and then you give me the gun. You, in turn, had to maintain control over that pistol purchase permit forever. People assumed that, and in many cases it was true, that black people simply didn't have $5 jingling around in their pocket that they would be willing to give up in order to be able to purchase a firearm. Because again, they still had to purchase a firearm. So they were paying their $5. Now remember, back in 1919, $5 was a lot of money. So you were more than likely going to spend that $5 on groceries. So this created a class of people, regardless of race, it created a class of people where only those people who could afford to pay that pistol purchase permit were the ones who were going to be buying one and there in turn getting one. So it's just a little bit of leverage that the Klan in that area was happy about and maintained. And guess what? This law has remained in place all these years. These racist Democrats, yes, that's right, the Democrats are the ones that are keeping the black people and minorities down. They love having you under their thumb. They love the fact that they can lie to you. They feed you with this hand and give you free crap, and then they take it from you with this hand over here, all the while acting like they're doing something for you. This law is meant to keep you guys from having guns. It always has, and it always will if it were to stay in place. But it got upended. Their Attorney General Josh Stein also wasn't happy. He said, now dangerous people like violent criminals and domestic abusers will be able to more easily get their hands on guns. I'm curious how that would be. Because let's think about this. If somebody is required to buy one of these purchase permits, they're doing it either from an FFL or from a private person. Okay? Do you think old Gary, who's planning on knocking over a liquor store, is paying his $5 to get his stolen pistol from Rodney down the street? Pretty sure that's not how they're doing it. Either way, we know they're not going to an FFL and filling out a background check. These people are stupid. They will lie to other voting constituents who vote for them, and again, keep them under their thumb. The AG went on to say, too many worry that their kids may not come home from school. This was a day or so after the Nashville gender pretender killed the kids in that school. So here again, while this has no relevance whatsoever to this bill getting kicked out from being vetoed, they're still utilizing and dancing on the graves of dead people to try to make a point. A very cheap, disgusting point that they tend to make. He says, gun violence is a terrifying threat, and eliminating background checks will make the job of law enforcement officers more difficult. This is a lie. If you people vote for these kind of people, you are stupid. No background checks are eliminated. No background checks are eliminated. There are no background checks that have been eliminated. I don't understand how to make this clearer. How can these idiots continue to get reelected when they say crap like this? This is just another stupid background check that they have. The other one is the one that is already being used by an FFL. And let me ask you this. If they feel like all of a sudden we're going to have this massive rash of violence across the state of North Carolina because somehow or another we don't make people pay $5 to get permission to purchase a pistol, are you telling me then that the instant background checks from the FBI, from the federal government, don't work? Because both of them are not necessary. So if you're telling me that yours is the one stopping all the crime, and by removing that $5 permission slip in the state of North Carolina is suddenly going to make crime rise, then you are telling me that you don't believe that background checks work, that you don't think the other background check would work. You need yours instead to prevent that. So pick a side. Do background checks work or do they not work? Because you cannot have it both ways, and you cannot tell me that your background check was the only thing keeping all of this rampant crime from happening in the state of North Carolina. In fact, why don't you look around the states of your borders, see how much crime they have compared to yours? I'd be willing to bet you're not setting any records by keeping crime from happening and keeping illegal firearms out of the hands of criminals.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's over.